welcome to today's roll and release class. My name is Lance. Today we are focusing on the lower back. So whether you're coming to class with lower back pain already, or you're feeling pretty good but you want to improve your range of motion, or you just want to maintain a healthy lower back, you've come to the right place. So I have my foam roller. I also have my trigger point ball. If you have a tennis ball, if you have a lacrosse ball, baseball. So without further ado, we're gonna start in the QL muscles. Those are the big strap-like muscles that support your lower back. They run down each side of your lower spine. So what I'm gonna do, you have options. This is gonna be more targeted if you go with a smaller ball, smaller medium. I'm gonna start with the foam roller. So find a foam roller, it could be a long one, that's fine. We're gonna target the side of our lower back. So that big, thick muscle, we're not laying directly on the spine, but I'm right on the side. And we're gonna spend, I'm gonna set my timer, 1 minute on each side. If you were doing this on your own, I would spend as much time as feels good. You can go up to 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I wouldn't push it, I don't even know what the limit would be. I wouldn't push it to like 8, 9, 10 minutes and beyond. That might be a little too much. But you definitely can spend more time here. So we have about 35 more seconds on this side. As we're rolling, you can scan slowly up and down that QL muscle, but once you find something really tight and tender, you want to just stay there for a little bit of time and let your body be as heavy and relaxed on the roller or the ball as possible. So we're going for another 15 seconds. Just want to loosen things up before we start to add some more movement and mobility. So another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's switch sides. Get yourself situated. We have 1 minute starting now. So I wouldn't say injured, but I feel like I strained my lower back. It's been pretty painful last few days. Been moving dirt. Then the day before that, deadlifting, and the next day, tons of basketball, running and jumping. So my lower back on the left side is feeling it. Saying all that to say, I'm still gonna roll out my right side just to keep things balanced, because your whole body works together. We can't have one side that's loose and relaxed and one side that's still tight. So even if you only have pain on one side of your lower back or your hips, we wanna kind of just do a nice overlay of everything in that area. Okay, got 10 more seconds on this QL. Again, stay in that one spot that you really feel. You can rock back and forth. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to show you with the roller, and then I'm actually going to use the ball just for my own pleasure. So the glutes are directly connected to your lower back, so we want to do everything above and below our pain. So I'm going to start off on my left side. I'm going to show you squared up. Left side. Now you can just lean to one side and see what you feel. For me, the roller doesn't really do the trick on my glutes, so the ball is my better option. But before you move into the ball, if you're on the roller and you don't feel much, I want you to try to figure 4 your left ankle over your right knee. So I'm on my left glute. My left leg bends and goes over my right knee. So it just opens up the muscle a little more, see what's there. We're gonna keep rolling for another 30 seconds. So if you haven't started rolling, let's start. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm just switching over to my weapon of choice. Woo! Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's go for another 15 seconds. This is often some of the most cringe-worthy work you'll do in the gym, is actually rolling out and recovering your body. And find that one point. We're gonna stay here for another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, let's switch sides. Now, the counting may not be perfect. And the reason for that is just because between me talking and rolling, I sometimes lose track. I do have a timer right up here, but also because it feels super good. So the more time I can spend rolling, even though that good feeling is relative because it is actually pretty painful, but it's like that massage type of pain. So therapeutic pain. So again, option to figure 4, option to just lean on that right side. And we're just gonna see what we can do. Let's go for another 30 seconds. Another thing to be aware of as we roll, and I'll probably remind you of this every roll and release video, is to notice the tension that you're holding in your body when you are sitting on that ball or that roller. Also your face. The more cringy and tight you hold your body and tense, it's going to be harder to release the muscle that you're targeting. So start with your face, make sure that you're not squeezing maybe just one initial, like woo, like you're jumping in cold water, but after that, try to relax as much as you can, full body. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Okay, we did the back side, let's do the front side of our hips. A couple other places besides hip flexors and glutes and lower QLs to target that we're not going to do today are your hamstrings. Also, some of your diaphragm, deeper muscles that you can use with a bigger ball. Missing something. Also, one of my favorite is the upper glute, lower hip right in the back side. We'll probably do that in the very near future. So let's go ahead and take your ball or your roller. Start with the roller, actually. This is a little more complicated with the roller to find. I'm going to find my hip pocket, top corner of my hip pocket. There's a little like chunk of flesh right there. That's your hip flexor, a bunch of different muscles in that complex. And I'm just trying to find that tissue first, like that group of tissue. May not feel too much on the roller, but before you move onto the ball, try a little trick of just rolling more onto your side and bending that knee that is, or the knee of the leg that is being rolled. Sounds like a riddle, but it's not. So for me, I'm not feeling much on my hip flexor with this, so move on to my trigger point ball, aka your tennis ball or whatever you have, and immediately, huge difference. Very targeted. I know I was talking for a while. I don't even know how long I was talking, but let's go for another 30 seconds. That's just my go-to. And forget, another 30 seconds. Doesn't hurt. Woo. Yeah. Another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you notice me, go ahead and switch sides. If you notice me moving my leg a little as I'm rolling my hips, that's a technique called flossing, and I'll explain it right now. So I find my left hip flexor, top corner pocket. It's like a nice game of pool. Option for your ball or your roller. Find that good fleshy meatball of hip flexor tissue right there for me. Now to floss, your hip flexor, the best way that you could possibly massage it and floss it would be to raise your knee and to lower your knee. But since our leg is extended on the floor, we don't have room to bring our knee up. There's another move or plane of range of motion that our hip moves in, and that's internal and external rotation. So I have my knee on the ground, I have my hip on the ball, and now with my foot, I go outside to the floor and inside towards my other leg as much as I can. And as you do that, laying on the ball, you notice there's different sensations as your foot moves up and down. And this is called flossing. So you're just gliding more tissue across that ball. So let's go ahead and stay here for another 10 seconds. Again, if you have more time, spend more time. All right, so we just basically massaged the knots out of our muscles surrounding our lower back, above and below, to the sides, to the front, all the way around. Again, there's more you can do. Again, hamstrings are a big one. But now what we're gonna do is add some movement and mobility stretching to our repertoire. So I'll start with my right foot in front, left knee down, moving into lunge twists. So really important to focus on the hip flexor stretch that we just rolled, and also the spinal twist. So left hand down inside of my right foot, right hand is free. As I inhale, I spin open towards the ceiling, towards the sky. As I exhale, I bring my hand down towards the floor, maybe even the elbow, if you have it. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Again, you got that left hip stretch. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times on your own. Explore that twist. Use your breath to take you a little further. Last time on your own. Nice. Okay, go ahead and place both hands down. Switch sides. Left foot forward, right knee down. Find that balanced slow lunge first. When you're ready, shift forward, find that hip flexor stretch. Side might be a little different, so take your time. When you're ready, right hand inside the left foot. Left hand is free. Inhale, spin your spine open. And exhale, bring it back home. Inhale. Exhale. You know the drill. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Again, find that deep hip stretch at the same time. Very good. Let's go ahead and find a seated position. This here, for me, is of the GOATs of mobility stretches, especially for your lower back, at least for myself and my body. So what we're gonna do is a 90-degree hip stretch with a half pigeon on each side. Sounds like a complicated Starbucks order, but I promise it's not, or at least not yet. All right, so toes up, heels down, feet outside of my hips a little bit. Try to find 90-degree angles before we start moving. I recommend probably put your hands down to start. And as we shift to one side, my legs end up in 90 degrees. Ultimate goal is to get to the floor. And to finish off that rotation, I dive into a half pigeon for a couple seconds. And then I open myself up to the other side, as open as possible the whole way. Once I can't stay open anymore and I have to come back towards the floor, I find my half pigeon on the other side. Good. So we're gonna do 2 more on each side. If you want, you can use your breath. Inhales take you open in transition. Exhales bring you to the floor into your stretch. This one alone will do wonders for maintaining your lower back and maintaining the health of your hips. Last time on your own, maybe deepen your breath a little bit. That's the power of YouTube and videos that are guided, especially in the fitness world, is that you can pause the video. If you want to spend more time on this 90-degree hip stretch, if I wasn't teaching you, I'd probably spend at least 2-3 minutes, if not 5 minutes, just working this here, maybe watching a show and just diving into my hips at the same time. All right, so we rolled out, we did some movement, some mobility to explore the new space. Our last piece, again, you can do more, but we're just gonna keep this brief. We're gonna do a spinal twist stretch. So make sure you have room left and right side of you. If not, you might just have to adjust yourself. You're gonna lay onto your back. These are fresh braids, so I'm actually gonna just do one of these numbers. All right. So protect Protect that hair if you got it. Oh man. Anyways, knees into the chest to start. Once you're here, first of all, this feels good, so you can stay here. But when you're ready, you're gonna drop your knees off to one side. You could use a yoga block under that bottom knee if it's too deep of a stretch. And you're just gonna relax in this position and let gravity kind of just gently push that top knee down. So the more I can stay with my shoulders and chest on the floor, or back on the floor, not chest, and my hips the other way, the more of a stretch you're gonna feel. Spend about another 10 seconds here. We're just doing 30 seconds on each side. Wow, it feels good. 3, 2, 1. Again, pause the video if you want, spend more time, or start to bring those knees back into your chest. And when you're ready, drop your knees to the other side. Again, each side will probably be at least a little bit different. And that's okay. The bigger the inhale, the bigger the belly and rib cage expansion, the more of a twist you're actually gonna find here. So imagine breathing down your spine. Let's take a couple more big breaths here. Very nice. Bring the knees back in, maybe top everything off with a good lower back massage. When you're ready, you can just press yourself back up. And there you have it. Kind of did a variety of different techniques to bring you some relief and some fine tuning of your lower spine. Again, go back through this if you want to, pause. My hope for you with videos like this is not only the relief or the elevation of health and wellness and fitness for you, but also, maybe more importantly, is that you leave classes like this with knowledge. So when you have any kind of troubles in your body or anything like that, you have tools and knowledge to help yourself before you automatically go pay money and go somewhere else or take some kind of medicine or anything like that. Start with the basics, troubleshoot, come to classes like these, and if you have not subscribed already, consider subscribing for more delicious content like this. All right, you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.